Hello everyone, welcome back. It's xBundok here. Today we're going to be painting up a werewolf again because A, I'm a sucker for werewolves, and B, we've been in Ravenloft lately with our campaign, so, why not? This guy I'm going to do up a little bit differently. I have the flat black primer on there, and we are going to do him up sort of like an Arctic werewolf kind of deal. So what I'm going to do, since I have that black on there, I have a loaded brush of the concrete gray Master Series paints, and I'm going to go over it, and it's going to look mottled, and that's fine, because what I'm doing a dark to light paint for this guy, so he seems a bit grungy, a bit mottled. If you think about a white wolf out in nature, they're not going to be pristine and white. They're going to be a bit dirty, grungy, muddy, bloody, depending on where they've been. So we're going to go around his full flesh tone, and we're going to go with this deeper, or I guess mid-range gray. We're going to hit the clothing last. I say clothing, I guess scraps of clothing, makeshift kilt he's got on. I don't film that, but we're going to use the same technique for that. We're going to do reds, and it's literally only going to be 2 layers on there. It's going to be a deeper red and a lighter red, and we want that black tone to show through, because that's what's going to give you the shading on it. So we're going to go over with the concrete gray on him here, and we're just going to fill him the full way in. So next up, you can kind of see I have trouble getting my camera to focus here, but we have that concrete gray mixed with a little bit of white, and it is very much thinned down. We're going to add a good bit of water just so we can increase the fluidity of this layer. This is going to be just kind of going in, getting the nooks and crannies that weren't hit with that first layer. And again, it's going to be a bit mottled, and that's fine. We're kind of looking for that chunky fur feel. So even once it's thinned out and I get it on the model, sometimes I'll still, just add some water to the brush and no more paint, just to pull that paint into other pieces of the figure, just so you get that thin layering effect on top of it. After this, we're going to do some very minor detailing and dry brushing, and we'll get to that in a bit. Alright, so here he is with that layer applied the whole way over. You can see he appears brighter, but you still have those tonalities there from the gray and having the black primer at the bottom versus the white or the natural one that it comes with. So what we're going to do next, I'm going to do a very heavy dry brush. Taking one of my battered brushes here. You see it's still tinged red, but that's okay for what we're doing here. I'm not trying to get just the light highlighting with this dry brush. This is me getting that white coat on. So it would be, the top of his fur that'd be reflecting any sort of moonlight or anything like that, that might have had any dirt wicked away. So he would have larger swaths of that bright white, especially with how much of his back would be open up. If you think of our zenithal or zenithal shading video, it's the same idea. So we want that top, like his shoulders and his back, to be that bright white, and so that's what we're going to do. It's not a strict dry brush in the sense that you're just getting the highlights and light pieces on there. We are adding a lot more paint to the brush than you normally would, but that's just the effect we're going for in here. After the dry brush, I'm going to use a soft wash very thinned out. I think I used maybe 1 drop of wash to 2 or 3 drops of paint just to get a little bit of warmth into the model. And also, you know, even though we have the deeper shading with the grays, we still want something that's a bit brown or orange. Again, bring in A, warmth, and B, just that earthy woodland tonality to him, thinking he's just been running through the murk trying to go hunting. So the next shot, you're going to see we've got that detailing, that wash on there, and the clothing is painted, like I said, two easy coats, just like the fur. And you still have that tonality there since you started out with the black on the bottom versus a white or a gray. So after this, we're going to do just a little bit of highlighting with the white on the back and the mane and the face. You see, I made him a little bit of a messy eater, and that's something else we're going to go in and do. We're going to get some of the red going on the paws and the chest there, just to add a little bit more environment to the figure, and maybe a little bit of highlighting on his torn up clothes on the bottom. So all I've got is just a couple of shots of the figure, and that's it for this week's video. Nothing too deep, nothing too crazy. I'm really happy with how he turned out, and that's just because I'm a sucker for werewolves, if I'm being honest. You can see for the blood pooling at the bottom there, I mixed just a little bit of gloss varnish with it, so I'm going to see if that stays shiny for the effect. This is already, I'd say, half dry, so hopefully it holds out. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Like and comment if you're interested. Subscribe if you'd like to come back, and thank you all for watching. Take care.